Hello all. Our last discussion was confined with different types of AC energy meter comparison, electrodynamometer and induction type meter. There are several various other wattmeters that is also used in AC, just like ferrodynamic type wattmeter, but that is not that important from subject point of view right now. So today we will start discussion regarding measurement of power using instrument transformer. In this particular segment, we will be studying about power measurement using CT and PT, that is instrument transformer, and three-phase power measurement techniques. There are three methods. We will be discuss about them later. And finally, to finish this whole topic regarding power measurement, how a single wattmeter can be used to measure a single phase AC reactive power. Okay, so let's start with the discussion regarding measurement of power using instrument transformer. This is the circuit connection. Already few of you have done the lab, but still let me explain this. This is your high voltage power supply, high voltage line, high power circuit. Now first of all, if I have a wattmeter, then still why should I use the instrument such as CTPT? Because wattmeter alone have some error, but if you insert that with another instruments like CT or PT, so more instruments are there, they are not serving any actual purpose, they are not serving in that ratio, but due to their loading effect, errors are increased in the system. But still, in high power circuit, the wattmeter is not capable of reading that power, because the voltage or current both are in the high range, that is the beyond scope of the wattmeter. So to keep track, the voltage level as well as current level are stepped down. Mind the word, current level is stepped down, not as I am not talking that current transformer is a step down. Current level is stepped down, voltage level is stepped down, so that a normal voltmeter along with ammeter or some voltmeter, you may insert a voltmeter over here. Okay, over here. So actually the voltage and current level falls below the working range of a normal measuring instrument. Okay, that is the utility of CT and PT. Now what will be happening? Whatever reading you will be obtaining with the wattmeter, multiply with PT ratio and multiply with CT ratio, then you will get the actual power consumption. Okay, so let's discuss the circuit diagram. Here this is your main power circuit. Just look at the main circuit, then after that we will be discussing about instrument transformer connection. So this is your main circuit. CT is inserted in series with the line. It is coming through the load, coming back through the load. So you have taken a single phase system. Okay, for three phases, each phase will require this type of construction. Okay, now CT is connected in series with the supply line and PT primary is connected in parallel with the supply line, and the secondary of PT is connected here with the wattmeter pressure coil with a standard resistance that is known to you. So this is the wattmeter secondary is connected with across the PC of wattmeter, and on a similar note, CT secondary is connected through one ammeter to the current coil of the wattmeter. Here you mind the number of turns. Here you see the number of turns is less, as it is known that CT primary has lesser number of turns than secondary. Similarly, PT primary has more number of turns than secondary, because I said during the class that wherever number of turns is more, their induced voltage will be high, and when induced voltage is high, current level is low. So current level is low here, then this one CT established. Here again high voltage, low voltage. Okay, so this is the scenario. This is all about the circuit. This dotted line is for PT and this dotted line is the whole CT. Okay, whatever I have just discussed with you, that is been written here. Only you have to consider here that what is IP, what is IV, the small lag angle, theta, delta, beta, etc. Okay, now we will draw phasor diagram for inductive and capacitive load. this one. This is your voltage and current in the actual circuit. For inductive load, you know current lags, that is phi. Now both of them are taken as a reverse. Both of them are reversed. You may ask why, sir? Because here you see these are the inductive circuits. So you know that due to dot product or dot notation, the phasor may get changed. If you just imagine about the phasor diagram of a transformer. Okay, so what is V1, where is V2? There is 180 degree phase lag. So if you want to compare one with the other, so we have to take one thing as reversed. That's the same thing. Now in case of reversal, no problem occurs, because what is power actually? V into I into cos phi. Now cos phi is constant, but if both V and I are made negative by opposing them, then only the power remains same. Isn't that so? Okay, that's why the analysis is similar. So current is reversed, this one, and voltage is reversed, and this is the thing that is being discussed over here. Okay, and this is for leading load. Again, for leading load, phi is positive. Here, why? During few lectures I have already stated that for capacitive load, treat phi as minus phi. Why? Because you see, voltage is your reference. So whenever lagging circuit, where is current? Lagging. Lagging means what? Anti-clockwise direction. Sorry, clockwise direction. Okay, here the current just in the opposite direction. That's why it is plus phi. Sorry, minus phi. Okay, no other else, nothing else. Okay, voltage is your reference. If you take current as your reference, you will get to the same notation, that it is your anti-clockwise movement, so it is positive. It is your clockwise movement, that's why phi is negative. Okay, from the phasor diagram, what is gamma? Gamma is the angle between IS and IP. What is IS? IP is the wattmeter pressure coil current, and what is IS? The current corresponding to VS. What is VS? What is VS? We have to go to the diagram. This is your VS, secondary of PT voltage. So secondary of PT current, IS. Okay, so neglecting transformation ratio and ratio error of instrument transformer, correction factor is this one. So up to this it was known to you, phi minus theta minus beta. Now due to the phasor diagram, because due to the CTPT insertion and some phase reversal and lagging nature, lagging or leading nature of the load, this factor is introduced, delta. Delta is what? It is written here, phase angle of PT. We are neglecting the ratio error, but this is the phase angle of the PT. Okay, that is for inductive load, and this is for capacitive load. Okay, so true power will be what? This correction factor multiplied with actual CT ratio, actual PT ratio, and wattmeter reading. That will give you the actual power consumption in the main high power circuit. Now let's move to the next segment, that is power measurement in polyphase system. First one is Blondel's theorem. What does it say? It says that the total power in a n phase network can be obtained by taking summation of n wattmeter readings. Mind it, total power in a polyphase, that is if number of phase is n, so total power in n phase network can be measured with the help of n different numbers of wattmeters. So the number of phase equal to number of wattmeters, when so connected that current coils of the wattmeters are each in one of the n lines. So if there are 1 2 3 4 5 lines, so there have to be 1 2 3 4 5 current coils. So 5 current coil means 5 wattmeters. So that is the statement of Blondel's theorem. But as during the lab I have stated to few of you that in such cases pressure coil is connected between that particular line, means line 1 or line 2 or line 3 or line 4 or line 5, whatever. pressure coil is connected between that particular line and a common point. Okay. However, if neutral, that is the common line, falls on a particular line, if the neutral falls on a particular line, then power can be measured using n-1 wattmeters. So if there are 5 lines and there is one neutral is taken as at suppose at line 3, so there is total 4 number of wattmeters required instead of 5. Okay. Our discussion is confined with 3-phase power measurement. Okay, not polyphase, means 4-phase, 5-phase, 6-phase. Obviously, practically the scenario is 3-phase power. We will be confining with 3-phase power measurement. So either 3-phase 4-wire or 3-phase 3-wire. Now, what is the difference between 3-phase 3-wire and 3-phase 4-wire? See, later you will know in detail whenever you will be studying power system subject, that power is generated at generating station. From there, first it is transmitted to distribution substation, from where the distribution substations supply the power to the local area like commercial area, residential area, industrial area, etc. Okay, that is a very general layout. So while transmitting power, the system is of 3-phase obviously, and the number of wire is also 3. 3-phase 3-wire means R, Y, B, and that's why 3 lines are there, 3 wires are there. But in distribution system, the scenario is not so. In case of transmission system, what is the load? That is distribution. In case of distribution, the load is more or less uniform. Okay, that's why 3-phase 3-wire is supplying a uniform load. That's why 3 wire is enough. But when we talk about distribution substation, they supply different localities, different factories, different institutions, I mean to say commercial or residential areas. So the phase balance is not that achievable. So in different phases, the load is not balanced at all. Different phase is connected with different loads. So that's why 3-phase 3-wire connection is not viable over there. For feasibility, they use as 3-phase 4-wire. 3 wires are R, Y and B, and the 4th wire is the neutral wire, that is the common wire. Okay, so that is the basic difference between 3-phase 3-wire and 3-phase 4-wire systems. Now let's get back to the topic, that is various methods used for measurement of 3-phase power in 3-phase circuit. One is 3 wattmeter method, 2 wattmeters method, and single wattmeter or 1 wattmeter method. Okay, so let's discuss them one by one. So this is the scenario that I was talking about. 3-phase 1, 2, 3 is 3-phase, and 4-wire 1, C, 2, 3. C is your common point. Okay, so you can see that in line 1, one current coil is connected, line 2 another current coil is connected, line 3 another current coil is connected, and one common line is there from where each and every phase has a pressure coil across it. Okay, from 1 to C, 2 to C, 3 to C at all. Okay, and this is a star connected load. Now here in this scenario, the load may be balanced or unbalanced, that does not matter. So 3-phase, now if you verify Blondel's theorem with it, there are 3 number of phases and 1 common, so you require 3 different wattmeters. But if C was taken at line 2 or line 3, then number of wattmeter was reduced to 2. Okay, so what is the power over here? V1 I1 plus V2 I2 plus V3 I3. Okay, because each wattmeter reads the corresponding phase power. Now let's move to the 2 wattmeter method. You see, as I told earlier, compare with the previous figure, this C is on line 2, so number of wattmeter is reduced to 2. Okay, so now this 2 wattmeter method can be measured with either of 2 types of connection, star connected load and delta connected load. This is a balanced star connected load. Okay, we are assuming that's the maybe balanced or unbalanced, no problem, but still for the sake of analysis we have assumed the load is balanced. So this is your phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Okay, and the common is on phase 3. So this is the connection pattern, current coil here, current coil over here, and the pressure coil is connected across this common to the each of the phases. So what does P1 reads? V1 into I1 into cosine of the angle between them, and P2 reads V2 into I2 into cosine of the angle between them. Okay. So actually, what does P1 reads? Sorry, there I was talking about delta connected load. Actually, it is a star connected load. So where is across this one P1 is connected? So this one is V3, this one is V1. If you apply KCL over here, sorry, KVL over here, if you apply KVL over here, you will get what is the voltage across V1 to 3? That is V1 minus V3. Okay. So that's why P1 reads V1 minus V3 and I1 and cosine of the angle between them. Similarly, P2 reads V2 minus V3 into I2 into cosine of the angle between them. Okay. That same thing is over written here, I1 into V1 minus V3 and I2 into V2 minus V3. This is phasor notation. Actual will be, there will be some cos phi. Okay. As the load is balanced, so I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to 0. So P equal to what? V1 I1 plus V2 I2 minus of, take V3 common, I1 plus I2. So I1 plus I2 means minus I3. So V3 minus V3 into minus I3, that will make you plus P3. So total power is measured in this way. We can estimate the same relationship or mathematical expression by the help of phasor analysis. But before that, let's discuss about the delta connected load. This is the delta connected load. Now here you say, what does P1 reads? Just the reverse direction, that's why the negative sign is there. So P1 reads V3 into I1 minus I3. P2 reads minus V2 into I2 minus I1. How I am getting this I1 minus I3 or I2 minus I1? At each node apply KCL. Now I have taken minus due to my sign convention. You can take it your own. After all, the same result will be there. Just check it. You can assume some excuse me, specified direction of currents, and from each node you have apply KCL, and accordingly you will get the result for P1 and P2 and corresponding phase current. So total current will be what? P1 plus P2. That means V2 I2 plus V3 I3. After all, you will getting overall the same result, V1 I1 plus V2 I2 plus V3 I3. Okay. Check it and tell me whatever you got. So let's get back to the 2 wattmeter method for star connected load I was talking about, the phasor analysis. Already few of you are familiar with it, known, because I have demonstrated it in lab in detail about that. Okay. So for their recapitulation and those who does not know, for their knowledge, let's get back to this. So this is your connection pattern. Okay. In one phase the current coil is there, another phase current coil is there. This is your common phase. So basically we are seeing what does W1 reads. W1 reads IR VR minus VRY, and W2 reads IB and VBY, sorry. So as the system is balanced, supply is balanced, load is balanced, so current will also be balanced. Now it is a inductive load lagging. So suppose treat any one phase VR as this is lagging for lagging load, so IR will be lagging by an angle phi, so that is VR and IR. Now if you think about the phase voltages, so VR 120 degree VY, another 120 degree VB. Okay, either this way or this way, anyway. So VR, VY, VB, and with VR IR is lagging by an angle phi. Now what does W1 reads? VRY. So VRY means what? VR minus VY. So VR is here, VY is here. So minus VY will be this one. Just reverse. So VR minus VY, the vector sum or phasor sum is this one, VRY. Now how much is that? We have to know that. You see, this angle between VR and VY is 120 degree. And angle between VY and reverse VY is 180 degree. Obviously that should be. So this angle is 120, this angle is 180. How much is this angle? The answer is very simple, 60 degree. And this voltage and this voltage, all I said that balanced. So VR equal to Vy equal to Vb. Okay. So magnitude of them are equal. So this one is same magnitude, this one is same magnitude. So obviously as the angle is 60 degree, so the resultant will made 30 degree with each of these two. Now what does W1 reads? W1 reads the angle between IR and VRY. So IR and VRY. You see this angle is 30 degree and this angle is phi. So what is the total angle? 30 degree plus phi. So what does W1 reads? Root 3 VLIL cos 30 degree plus phi. Why root 3? You apply the vector addition. This is V, this is V. So V square plus V square plus 2 into V into cos 30 degree plus phi whole root over. Okay, you will get the same result. On a similar note, W2 reads root 3 Vi cos 30 degree minus phi. You check it by yourself. Still, if you are having any doubt, I will place another video just to explain these two, this one thing only. But I think no problem will be there, because okay, let's explain it over here. This is your minus Vy, this is your Vy, and what does it reads? Vby. So Vb is here, minus Vy is here. Again this angle is 60 degree, so the resultant makes 30 degree. So this one is 30 degree, this one is 30 degree. Now what we are bothered about? Angle between IB and VYB. IB and VBY. Angle between IB and VBY. So this angle, what is this angle? IB and VBY, this angle. Now this angle is 30, this angle is phi. So what is this angle? Obviously 30 minus phi, that is 30 minus phi. Okay, so you will see it here. W1 VLIL cos 30 degree plus phi, W2 equal to VLIL cos 30 degree minus phi. Okay, so what is total W? VLIL do cos 30 degree plus phi plus cos 30 degree minus phi. So W equal to root 3 VLIL cos phi. Okay, where I was talking about in the previous segment here in terms of line and phase voltage, and I think it is clear to you that what is line and what is phase. If you take line, then it will be only VLIL cos 30 plus phi. Okay, so VLIL cos 30 plus phi plus cos 30 minus phi, that is total W. So W equal to root 3 VLIL cos phi. Okay, where VL equal to root 3 VPH, IL equal to IPH. I was talking about this phase voltage, that's why I said root 3 over here. Anyway, let's get back here. So W equal to 3 VPH IPH cos phi or root 3 VL IL cos phi. That is the total power consumption in the three-phase balanced network star connected. Now we can measure the power factor too. We have W1, W2, and W is this one. So what will be W1 minus W2? You will get it sin phi in terms of sin phi. So you have sin phi, you have tan cos phi. So division is tan phi. If you know tan phi, then you can easily determine what will be cos phi. Phi equal to tan inverse this one, and cos phi will be cos tan inverse this one. Okay. Now one important discussion regarding effect of power factor on load for 2 wattmeter method. Obviously, since the value of load power factor varies from 0 to 1, the deflection of W1 is greater than that of W2. Okay, that means not W1 here, any of the wattmeter will read, any particular wattmeter, its deflection will be more than the other one. Okay, because most of the loads are of one particular nature, that is inductive. So when phi equal to 0 degree, get back to that formula. These two formula we are talking about, W for W1 and W2. This is W2 obviously, due to some mistake I have to omit it. So W1 and W2. So when phi equal to 0, W1 equal to W2, both are cos 30 degree, Vi cos phi. So both the wattmeter reads equal and positive value. When phi equal to 60 degree, one is 30 plus 60, that is, so one is 90 degree, another is 30 minus 60, that is minus 30 degree. So total power is measured by W1 alone. Okay, W2 equal to 0. There is some problem. The ET, according to that analysis, yes, when phi is 60 degree, this one will be cos minus 30 degree. Cos minus 30 equal to cos 30, so it will read some value, but it will read cos 90. Cos 90 is how much? 0. So one wattmeter reads 0, another wattmeter reads the whole value. In when the phi is between 60 degree and 90 degree, one of the wattmeter is positive and the other will be give a back reading, negative reading. The deflection will be beyond the 0. Okay, beyond the 0 value on the pointer. So what to do? You know that if you want to do A minus B, what we can write? A minus B equal to A minus of plus B. So keeping that in mind, in order to change the reading to readable upscale value, pressure coil of W2 is reversed. Mind it, pressure coil is generally made reverse because current coil is connected in series and we generally do not tamper series connection, because pressure coil, you can remember in lab MLCV, what is pressure coil? That is CV, that is your pressure coil. In wattmeter 4 terminals were there, MLCV. So pressure coil is CV. Okay, so that connection can be made reverse easily. That's why. Now this other wattmeter reading is subtracted. So once the pressure coil connection is reversed, now you will get a positive deflection. Now both the wattmeter reading are positive, so you get one of the reading as minus. Treat is at minus whenever you are calculating, so that will give you the actual reading. Okay, and one is when phi equal to 90 degree, the same thing repeats with the other wattmeter. Now reads negative, and the same thing you reverse. Which wattmeter will be giving back reading? Reverse its pressure coil terminal, get a positive value, subtract it from the others, and then you will get it. For leading power factor, the same analysis is valid, but the power factor angle of load becomes minus phi instead of plus phi, as already discussed many times. That is a chart that is been given here. You just verify what, because somewhere W1 was plus phi minus phi. Just check this thing. Okay. Otherwise, the analysis holds good. Either W1 will be replaced by W2 depending on the scenario. Here, just check it. And again, if you are confused with this, I have to rectify and send the slides. I will modify the slides and will upload it soon, but you have to give your feedback on this. But I think no feedback, no problem will be there anyway. So if one wattmeter shows negative value, this indicates the load is reactive. At power factor angle 60 degree, only single wattmeter measures entire three-phase power, while the other wattmeter shows zero deflection. When the power factor angle, okay, we can verify that with the table. When wattmeter shows negative value, this indicates the load is reactive. This one, the fourth case. At power factor angle 60 degree, only single wattmeter measures entire three-phase power, while the other wattmeter shows zero deflection. The third reading. When power factor angle is less than 60 degree, both the wattmeters show positive deflection. These two cases. When one of the wattmeter shows negative deflection, the range of power factor is from 0 to 0.5. This one. Less than 0.5, reading of W1 will be 0. When both the wattmeter shows positive deflection, the range of power factor is from 0.5 to 0.1. Case 1 and 2. This one. Both are giving some reading. Now, one wattmeter method. What is that? This can be applied only when the load is balanced. Only in case of balanced load and star connection we can have this method. It is just working as supplementary to 2 wattmeter method. You see the connection pattern is same. So limitation is that one thing, unbalanced load and star connection. So I1 equal to I2 equal to I3 balanced load, and V1 equal to V2 equal to V3. So here you can see that there is one provision of switching the wattmeter once across 1 and 3, and the secondly across 1 and 2. Okay, first across 1 and 3, secondly across 1 and 2. The calculation is just same with the 2 wattmeter method. Don't need to worry about that. You see that P1 equal to root 3 VI cos 30 degree plus phi, P2 equal to root 3 VI cos 30 degree minus phi, and total power will be obviously as obtained earlier, P equal to VI cos phi. The last topic, that is measurement of reactive power by wattmeter. We can measure reactive power also with the help of wattmeter. Also, although there is some bar meter there, but somehow with the help of wattmeters also we can measure it. How? Connection is very simple. Current coil is connected. Suppose there are 3 phases, R, Y and B, R, B and Y. Okay, if there are 3 phases, you are having 1 wattmeter. So place the current coil in any of the phases. Place the current coil at any of the phases. Like here the current coil is placed at phase R, and what is the second important point? The pressure coil is connected across 2 other phases. Okay, earlier what was there? One end of the coil was connected with a line, the current coil was connected in series with the line, and the pressure coil, one end of the pressure coil in that line, the other end to any other phase. But here, where the current coil is connected, that phase will be excluded for phase coil connection, pressure coil connection. So where the current coil is there in series, the pressure coil is connected across 2 other phases. That is all. But there is one important thing, the load has to be star connected and a balanced one, of course. So you can see the phasor diagram. This is your VR, this is your Vy, this is your Vb. Okay, 3 phase voltage placed 120 degree by each other, and that is your phase R current, which is lagging nature. So phi is the angle between VR and Vy. So similarly here will be Iy and here will be Ib. No need to disclose them in the phasor diagram, otherwise that will be clumsy. That's why this is not been shown here. Now what is the catch? The wattmeter connects between IR and VYB. See here, IR and VYB. So VYB means this is your Vy. Obviously this will be your minus VB. So this is your VYB. I think that is clear to you. If you are having doubt, just rewind, pause, rewind, listen, again verify. This is your VB, this is your minus VB. So this is your plus VB. Sorry, plus VYB. YB. So we need to know the angle between IR and VYB. IR and VYB. So how much is this angle? See, this whole angle is 180 and this angle is 120. So this angle is 60, and this magnitude are equal. So this angle is, the whole angle is 60, this magnitudes are equal. So this angle is 30, this angle is 30. From other perspective, this whole angle is 180 degree, sorry 120 degree, this whole angle is 120 degree. Okay, this whole angle is 120, this one is 180, this one is 120. So how much is this angle? 60 degree. The whole angle is, this angle 180, this angle 120. So this angle is 60 degree. Okay, now this one is 30 degree, this one is 60 degree. So what is the angle between this? This angle is 90 degree. Okay, so angle between VYB and VR is 90 degree. Now we want the angle between IR and VYB. So VYB is there, IR is there. So this angle is phi, this whole angle is 90. So what is the angle, this one shown by this arrow? 90 minus phi. So this angle is 90 degree minus phi. Okay. So what is the W reads? W reads VLIL sin VLIL cos 90 minus phi or VLIL sin phi. So how to get three phase power? Multiply it with root 3. So root 3 VLIL sin phi. Okay. That's why I said that the load should be balanced. Otherwise, if balanced load is not there, this VL and IL magnitude will differ, and just multiplying with root 3 does not serve the purpose. Wattmeter can be used to measure reactive power in a balanced three-phase star-connected load. Here the current coil is connected to one line and potential coil is connected across the other two lines. We have to multiply the wattmeter reading by root 3 to obtain total reactive power in three-phase system. Thank you.